Today, I'm diving deep into the ultimate showdown. Is Jesus really stronger than the devil? Let's find out. As Christians, we're all too familiar with the concept of spiritual battles. The Bible tells us that we're in a constant struggle against the forces of evil, and that Satan is our greatest enemy. But have you ever stopped to think about the strength of good versus evil? I mean, we all know that God is all-powerful, but what about Jesus specifically? Is he strong enough to take on the devil and his minions? The truth is, spiritual battles are very real, and understanding the strength of good versus evil is crucial for our faith. If we don't know who's in control, we can easily become discouraged and lose hope. But when we realize that Jesus is victorious over Satan, it changes everything. So, let's dive into this topic and explore the strength of Jesus in relation to the devil. It's a vital conversation that can bring freedom and empowerment to our lives. In our world today, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the power of evil. We see it in the news, in our communities, and even in our own lives. It can be discouraging, to say the least. We wonder, is God really in control? Is he really stronger than the devil? I think we've all been there at some point, feeling helpless against the forces of darkness. We see evil prevailing, and we wonder if good will ever triumph. It's a scary feeling, and it can lead to some serious doubts and fears. But here's the thing, our fears and doubts are often rooted in a misunderstanding of God's nature. We think that God is somehow limited, that he's not powerful enough to overcome the devil. But that's just not true. The Bible tells us that God is all-powerful, and that Jesus is the manifestation of that power. He's the one who has authority over all things, including the devil. So, why do we still struggle with doubts and fears? I think it's because we don't fully understand the nature of spiritual battles. We think they're about us, about our own strength and power, but they're not. They're about God's power and authority. We need to shift our focus from our own abilities to God's abilities. We need to remember that we're not fighting against the devil on our own. We're fighting alongside the most powerful being in the universe. The devil wants us to believe that he's stronger than God, that he's the one in control. But that's a lie. The Bible tells us that Jesus is the one who has overcome the world, and that he's the one who has authority over the devil. So, let's examine some biblical references that illustrate the power of Jesus over the devil. In Matthew 4, we see Jesus being tempted by Satan in the wilderness. Satan tries to tempt Jesus with promises of power and authority, but Jesus refuses to give in. Instead, he quotes scripture, reminding Satan that he's the Son of God, and that he has authority over him. It's a powerful moment, and it sets the tone for the rest of Jesus' ministry. In John 12, we see Jesus predicting his own death and resurrection. He says that when he's lifted up on the cross, he'll draw all people to himself. It's a declaration of victory over the devil, and it's a reminder that Jesus is the one who has authority over all things. In Colossians 2, we see Paul writing about the cross, saying that Jesus has disarmed the rulers and authorities, making a public spectacle of them. It's a powerful image, and it reminds us that Jesus is the one who has overcome the devil. In 1 John 3, we see John writing about the nature of God, saying that God is greater than our hearts, and that he's greater than the devil. It's a reminder that God is all-powerful, and that Jesus is the manifestation of that power. In Revelation 12, we see a vision of the end times, where the devil is cast out of heaven, and Jesus is victorious. It's a powerful image, and it reminds us that Jesus is the one who has overcome the devil. These are just a few examples of biblical references that illustrate the power of Jesus over the devil. They remind us that Jesus is the one who has authority over all things, and that he's the one who has overcome the world. But there's one moment in Scripture that stands out above the rest, the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus. It's the most powerful moment in all of Scripture, and it's the moment when Jesus truly triumphs over the devil. On the cross, Jesus took on the sins of humanity, and he bore the wrath of God. It was a sacrifice of love, and it was a declaration of victory over the devil. In the resurrection, Jesus proved that he was more powerful than death itself. He rose from the grave, defeating the devil once and for all. It's a powerful moment, and it's a reminder that Jesus is the one who has overcome the devil. It's a message of hope, and it's a reminder that we don't have to fear the devil or his minions. In the end, Jesus is stronger than the devil, and he's the one who has overcome the world. That's a message of hope, and it's a reminder that we can trust in God's power and authority. So, what does this mean for us today? It means that we don't have to fear the devil or his minions. We don't have to fear spiritual battles, because we know that Jesus is the one who has overcome the world. It means that we can live with confidence and hope, knowing that God is in control. It means that we can stand against the forces of darkness, knowing that Jesus is standing with us. Thanks for watching, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you're new here, consider subscribing for more videos on faith and spirituality. Don't forget to check out my other videos for more insights on Christianity and the Bible. God bless.